Hello, good people. Welcome back to the channel. We're so glad that you're here. Today, I'm bringing you an interview with Goods Perdido, and I met him in a clubhouse room, actually with another interviewee, Shivali, in the World Creatives Unleashed room. And as soon as he played his music, I was just like, "We need to do an interview." I immediately DM'd him, and I was like, "We have to do something." So I'm really glad that he was able to make time for me today. Welcome.
How's it going?
Yeah, it's good. I'm so glad we were able to get this together. I swear,
Yeah,
as
for
soon as you
sure.
started, I think you played 24. You
Yeah, that
played
was
a
the
little
first one,
snippet
yeah.
of 24, which is your latest single, right?
Right.
And I heard it and I was like, oh, we've gotta do an interview. So I'm really glad that you were able to make time for me today. I see you're wearing the Bad Hombre shirt.
Yep,
We love
yep.
it. We'll get into that in a little bit. But yeah, why don't you just start off with telling us a little bit about your background, how you got into music, and yeah.
Alright, yeah, so go by Goods Perdido. I'm based in Teaneck, New Jersey.
Yep.
That's where I, was grew up and was
Yeah.
raised and everything, so still out here, and I got into music, I guess, in, middle school.
Okay.
I started the funny story of how I started is that, a friend and I, wrote a little rap song together for me to, impress a girl I had a crush on in,
Yes.
6th grade or something.
Yeah.
Um, so that was, I guess, my first very entry into music, and
Right.
then in high school, I was trying to actually put, full projects together,
Yeah.
and so since then, I've just been keeping at it.
Yeah. I think a lot of creatives can relate to that. Starting in high school,
Yeah,
definitely writing for someone that you like or anything like that is a really common way that people get started. But I love that. I think, yeah, music's always been a part of my life. And so I'm always really happy to hear about how it got into other people's lives and especially for making music. So
right.
tell us what's behind the name Goods Perdido. What is that? I mean, for those that don't know, it means lost goods, but like what is
Yeah.
behind that name?
So I had a name previously, it was Goods Rapper that I
Okay.
came up
Yep.
with, early in high school or whatever. Um, and I guess after a while, it kind of became a task to explain what that
Yeah.
name meant, and I
Yeah.
didn't even really know. It was kind of just something I came up with.
Yeah.
So, but I was used to people calling me Good, so I still wanted to
Mm,
keep that in my name. So I changed it to Goods Perdido because I have this kind of label, creative agency thing that I started called
yep.
Lost in Vibrations.
Got it.
So I
Okay.
wanted to bring the word lost into there and
Right.
then put it in Spanish to tie to my Hispanic identity. So
Yeah.
Goods Perdido altogether. It's the full thing there.
I think it's really great. It really does sort of roll off the tongue and it's very like catchy.
Right.
Even for the interview, I was like, okay, good, it's perdido. Like we have that. So I think you did a good job choosing that as your
Thank
name. And as we can see, you tend to choose like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
bad hombre, right? You mix the two, like we like the wordplay
Right.
and things like that. Why don't you tell us a little bit about sort of what it's been like being a creative? And I know you touch on this a little bit in your album, When the Lights Go Out, but what is it that is difficult and what is it that is sort of triumphant and what you really love about being a creative? Because I think from what I've seen of your work, you really have tried to break away from this. You had to have this 9 to 5, you had to do these things in order to pursue your actual passion, which is music. But that's not always easy. And I know a lot of other creatives can relate to that story. So I wonder if you can tell us a little bit more about that.
Yes. I mean, I wish the music was a full-time thing, but as creators know, we all have to support our dreams with other jobs.
Yeah.
And so I mean, yeah, it gets difficult because there's on one side of things, I want to just be doing the creative all the time because that's really where my passion lies. But, at the moment, it's not fully realistic. And then there's all these societal pressures as to is chasing after something creative really a realistic thing to do? Or are you kind of just, chasing a pipe dream?
Yeah.
So it all kind of it builds up some pressure and stress around it. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, if you do have that passion for what you do and what you create, you're always gonna go back to it no matter how
Yeah.
stressful it may get. So
Yeah. And I mean, it's taken you to so many places. I know you said when you worked on When the Lights Go Out that you were in Australia. I think you have a cousin there or something like that, and they played
I do
sax
have
for
a
you.
cousin.
Or
I didn't go out there, but he
got
came
it.
out here
He came
and
out.
he
Okay, yeah,
played,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
He
yeah.
played some saxophone on the song, yeah.
Yeah. Why don't we go into that a little bit? When the Lights Go Out. So you all go on Good Perdido's Instagram, you'll see there is a highlight that talks about this album, but there's a lot of meaning behind both the album cover as well as each song. And he does a really great job of explaining it. So I'm going to ask him to do a little bit here. But yeah, definitely go check that out. I will post a link below. It is really, really interesting to see how he broke down each song, how it all ties together, and especially how you took the photo for the cover image. So yeah, why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. Yeah, so when the light goes out, the whole like idea behind the title is that I was going back to like the 9 to 5 thing. I was at a job for almost like 3 years and just felt like very drained creatively while I was there. It was kind of just I didn't have any inspiration, and I was dealing with like a bad boss issue, and so it was kind of just like stressing me out all the time. And so I decided to, make this project, and that kind of ties to like the job thing in terms of through this lack of inspiration, I kind of like somehow picked up the drive again to get back into the music. And so this is like a product of like my creative light dying out.
Mm,
And now it's finally come back, and this is like a result of that. And that's
yeah.
all the songs that are on the project. So that's why the cover art too. It's like the light in my world. I'm climbing up the ladder to like put it back in and like bring that back in my life. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I loved how you told the story of it, and you showed where you took the photo, right, and how
yeah.
you like put all the different aspects together. So yeah, I really encourage everyone to go look at that. I definitely want to hear Bad Hombre live. Like it is. So I love how you compared it to "All Right" by Kendrick Lamar. It's sort of like this like anthem, right, for people.
Yeah.
I believe you called it the immigrant protest song, right?
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the inspiration behind Bad Hombre.
Yeah, so that was, I mean, I try not to get too like
Yeah,
political in all of my songs,
yeah,
but for that one I felt like it was something that, related to me just being Hispanic, being the kid of immigrants, and like everything that was going on with Trump, and he called, people
yes,
bad hombres. So that's where like the title came from. And I was like, well, I'm gonna, reclaim that like negative statement about Hispanics and like turn it into like a song for us, and like
yes,
protest about how
yeah.
we're more than what you think we are. We're like
Yeah.
integral part of this society. So
Yes. Yes. That's so important. And I think it definitely does that. And I cannot wait to hear it live and be chanting with everybody. Like that chorus, everything is really, really great. So I'm really excited about that. Why don't you tell us about who inspires you? Who inspires you? Music, your lyrics, sort of all those different aspects.
um well, I mostly listen to like a lot of like hip hop music, and then like R&B
Yeah.
alternative. I feel like lately it's been a lot of singers, honestly.
Oh,
It's
okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
interesting because I can't sing at all, but
Yeah.
I feel like the sounds they create and just what they talk about kind of like really inspires me. So I mean, from people like, SZA or Frank Ocean to more like independent artists, there's this one artist named Bosco. I believe she's out in California.
Okay. Bosco.
Yeah, Bosco, yeah. And yeah, her music is great. I mean, my all-time inspiration is Kendrick Lamar,
Yeah.
going back to like the All Right Bad Hombre thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I try to, I mean, I get inspired by his albums a lot. I wouldn't say I try to emulate his style exactly because I'm trying
Right.
to do my own thing too, but definitely that's a huge inspiration. So
All great choices,
yeah.
definitely, and I can hear some of the inspirations, and yeah, shout out to singers. I can't sing Save My Life, but I love hearing them sing, so it's always
Right.
great. Who would be your ideal collaboration for a new project or even a single or anything like that?
Mm. I mean, I don't want to just say Kendrick again, but that's definitely
I mean, we can
that's,
put Kendrick out there too. We can put Kendrick out there.
that's definitely on the top. Singer wise, I'm trying to think. Hmm. There's a lot of
It can
great
be a
ones right
singer,
now.
it can be a rapper, it can be
Right.
anybody. I kind of try to get people to manifest what they want
Yeah.
out of things.
Well, I'll say like there was like a few artists that inspired When the Light Goes Out.
Yep.
Kendrick was one of them. Another one was Buddy, if you know
Oh,
about Buddy.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Buddy and Saba too
Nice. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
inspired like a big part of it. So I feel like any 3 of those would
Yeah,
be
would
a
be
good
ideal.
person to collab with, yeah.
Listen, like, let's put it out there. You never
Right.
know. Those all sound like really great options, and I think they would all sound really great on a track that you put together. So really excited to hopefully see that happen.
Yeah, hopefully one day.
Where do you think music is taking you?
Mm,
Where do you want it to take you?
that's a good question. Hmm, I guess I don't know, I guess, I mean, that's the dream for me is to just be able to do music
Mm,
as, like, my, career in life.
yeah,
So I would like music to take me
yeah,
to a point where I can just create all the time and collaborate with artists and help people bring their visions to life and my own and just be able to like have a life surrounded with art. So that's
yeah.
the ideal thing where music would take me.
You mentioned, yeah, that you have a label that you started. Are you trying to sign other artists to your label, or are you just trying to use that for yourself right now and then possibly grow it out?
Yeah, for now it's kind of just myself.
Yep,
It's not fully a record label, but
yep,
it's like a creative agency. So aside from doing music, I also like to like dabble in creative directing.
got it.
So
Okay, yep,
I'll like help people with their photo shoots or video shoots and come up with like the concepts for like their art and stuff like that
right.
and just help other artists like bring their own vision to life.
I was doing my research, so forgive me if I missed it. Where are you planning on putting any music videos out for your work? I didn't see any music videos. When are you
I have
thinking of
some
putting
music
out?
videos from back in the day from
Got it.
like when I used to go as the other name,
Yep,
but I kind of took those down from YouTube. But
yeah,
right now I do have like a little video trailer thing that I
yep,
shot for 24 that's
yep,
going to be releasing soon.
got it.
So it's
Okay.
not a full music video, but it's tied to the song. So
Got it. And yeah, tell us about 24. That's your latest one. I mean,
yep,
we as you say, we all have 24 hours in a day. What are you doing with them, right?
right,
And I think that's like a really great question for creatives to especially think about, right? Because you have to balance, getting the writing done, getting the recording done, or doing the
right,
artwork or anything that you want to do. But you really only have 24 hours. And we think about people like, Diddy and all of them, and they're always like, well, why are
right.
you sleeping? Like, you need to be working. And it's like, well, you also need to recover. So
Yeah, exactly.
tell us about 24 a little bit.
Yeah, so 24 was kind of like a song I wrote to myself almost. I mean, I knew that the message could apply to like a lot of people, but it was kind of like a kick in the butt for myself to say,
Yeah.
like, what are you doing? How you spending your days? Are you really committed to doing this music thing if that's what you
Mhm.
want, or are you kind of like slacking off on it? And so the the first verse kind of examines that on my own, and then
Right.
the second verse I tried to write it from like the point of view of somebody that doesn't have as much time, that they have,
Mhm.
work 2 jobs maybe or something, and so they can't necessarily come home and then just start working on these things. There's more of a struggle there.
Right.
So just like, knowing that that's out there, that there's people in that situation and being like, if you know there's people like that and you have all this time, then you shouldn't take it for granted. So,
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it's definitely sometimes I feel guilty for, like, taking a nap or something like that because 'cause I'm like, I know I only have a certain amount of hours awake, but, yeah,
right.
I definitely think we have to maximize the times that we are awake and really think about how to use them. Is there anything that you would like to promote? Anything that I know you just mentioned that there's a little trailer coming out for
Yep.
24. I know you just put out 24 this year. Anything else we can expect from you this year?
Yeah, so I got that trailer coming up next, and then I have a bunch of other singles in the work and
Okay.
definitely another EP. It's only going to be like 3 songs,
Yep.
but
Okay.
looking forward to putting all that out. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll be excited to hear it. I think that'll be really great. I'll be really looking forward to it. Thank you so, so much for taking time. I have
Yeah, of
one
course.
final question for you,
All
and it is
right.
my this or that question. And it's one that I've asked many times. And the answer is usually correct, but I'll see what you say. So do you prefer the ocean or the mountains? And why?
Mm, I think the mountains.
Oh, okay.
And I think that like being up in the mountains, just like the views that you
Yeah.
get are kind of like, I don't know, they're kind of just amazing. I mean, the ocean's amazing too,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
being that high up and just like seeing all this like vast land is kind of
That's true.
crazy. There's one specific view at this like park here in like upstate New York.
I think I've seen that. I think I saw somebody was there the other week. And it's
Might
like you can, like, see, like, all over.
Yeah, this one you can see, like, almost, like, 3 different states or something.
Yeah, yeah,
It's, like,
yeah, yeah.
all these trees and everything, it's just amazing, and I've, like, gotten there, like,
Yeah.
been at that point and just been, like, super inspired
Yeah.
with life in general, being like, "Wow, this is incredible."
Definitely
So,
wanna go see that. I saw somebody had posted from I think it's the same place that we're talking about, but it looked beautiful, and I texted my friend in New York, I was like, "When I visit, we're going there, like, we have to go see it." It looks
yeah,
really, really beautiful. But yes, thank you so much, Goods. I
thank
cannot
you.
wait to see what you bring this year, and we'll be rooting for you, and I will put all of the details below so that people can follow you and really, keep in touch with you.
Thanks so much for the opportunity.